Ladies and gentlemen, it is currently 8:01 p.m., July 29, 2013. And this is the KNKL Show! Day 91, Episode 91. I'm your host, Kienan Lafferty, and this is the show where we learn to be better artists and we work on things together. And we are going to be jumping right back into the Emma Issue 2 cover, which you at home picked yourself. For those of you who haven't been tuning in for the last couple episodes, I drew up 3 different thumbnail thingies. I'll show those really quick after I fix the camera. Actually, I just need to drop myself down a little bit. Alright, so yeah, let me show those 3 thumbnails really quickly just to catch you up on what's been going on. Okay, so I drew up these things. Okay, there we go. I drew up these 3 thumbnails, right? And you at home were tasked with the choosing of the fates, and you chose number 1, the cool 80s poster with the motorcycles driving into the sunset. So that is what we are going to be working on today. I have been going day by day, showing my entire process from sketch to, and we're going to keep going until we get to the final product. But before we move on into the actual drawing, the continuation, we need to take a stroll down the lovely lane because we got some new awesome things submitted from the lovely people. We got this coming in from Alicia, her awesome fan art as usual. We got this other comic called Emma, this other graphic novel, which probably means I should probably file the copyright for Emma now, very quickly, before that thing gets big, because the art is very, very beautiful as well. And I actually know that guy, the guy that did the art for this here. You'll have to just go to the Facebook to check it out. He was doing work for League of Legends as well. And we got cool vehicle designs coming in from Brian Hogan, and this awesome thing coming from Ozzy Burke. I love the way that he just captures the style and makes it his own. Love it, love it, love it! Okay, so with all that out of the way, the last thing I need to say is thank you to everyone who's been supporting, not only reading the latest issue of Emma, but for those of you who are going above and beyond and contributing with your hard-earned cash to buy me tacos at Del Taco. Those people can be found here. If you'd like to get your name on this list, actually, probably if you're going to donate, I'll put you on next month's list with the new thank you picture. Just go to Emma Comic Online and donate as little or as much as you want, or if you're on YouTube, you can click the link down below. And also, if you're looking to help support, now that we're creating the new cover, speaking of that, you can order your very own limited edition. Only 90 of these babies are ever going to be printed of the issue 1 cover, and it is a cool poster. It's 11 by 17, printed out high resolution, cool little golden sticker, and it's signed by me. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's stop our blabbering. Let's stop flapping our gums, and let me catch you up with what happened till today. Okay, so basically, what you're going to be seeing me doing here is just cleaning up. For those of you who tuned in to the secret stream on Friday, you will have known that I was just cleaning up lines. And this process, I said it myself basically, it's probably the most boring and mundane part of the process. But the reason why I do this is because I don't like going back in a third time, right? Like I do the basic sketch, right, the basic thumbnail, which you saw earlier, then I'll do the cleanup lines, kind of, right, like a second pass. And then for the final lines, I'll actually go back in and I will just erase and clean up that sketch as opposed to going over it a third time. And there's a couple reasons why I do this. A, because I really hate doing line art. I don't like it. In the comic, it's actually bearable because I use a cool brush. And for those of you who are curious about brushes, I always put those in the description now because that is one of the most frequently asked questions. So it's just always in the description. But there's a nice texture brush that I use for lining the comic, but I wanted to do a little bit of a different style here, right? I wanted to do a little bit more of a painterly style, add a couple more highlights, a little bit more realistic effects, right? You can see I'm putting more detail into the motorcycles, which actually didn't take that much more work, so you guys can look forward to having more detailed motorcycles in the next issue for sure. And yeah, other than that, it's just it just takes a lot of time from this point. It's actually very relaxing. This part of the project, I would say, is probably the most relaxing because you can pretty much just zone and be working, and you could be like watching a movie. I could be watching a movie on the other monitor, just listening to music. And this is the kind of stuff that just you get into a zone and you kind of like turn off for a little while. And it's kind of weird to say it like that. I mean, there's still some problem solving. Like you'll see, I'm kind of like stitching the or rather lassoing the wheel and kind of fixing the proportion of it or the perspective on it a little bit because it was bent a little bit too much toward us and I like it. So just little things like that I like to do. But I was actually really happy with how this piece came together. I was really happy with how the motorcycles came out when I started adding the extra detail to them. I had some nice Google references, right? I just like Googled dune buggy back and motorcycle back and ATV back. And I got the amazing references that allowed me to do the stuff that you're seeing here. So it's actually not too hard. And and they weren't from these exact angles either. You know, there was still a little bit of fudging and stuff to do around with that. But just seeing how the wheel connects to the body of the bike is really enough to go off of. And then you can kind of play around and just make up your own designs, right? And really, in actuality, it is kind of working to my advantage because even if they look kind of like slapped together, this is supposed to be kind of a post-apocalyptic type of biker gang. So if their vehicles look a little shabby, then that only increases the points and the realisticness of it. So, yeah, that is my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. So, yeah, let's see, what else we got going on here? We're about to go into the next part here. If this takes too long, I'll probably just fast forward it because really, I mean, once you've seen me do this to one of the bikes, you probably know how it's going to go for the rest of them. But another thing that I talked about on Friday was how I liked the idea of just doing a bunch of different styles of bikes. Like you'll notice that this one has like a cool looking chain on it and like a different bike tire. And I really liked it because it just kind of lent more to the fact that these bikers just like found these bikes and you know they worked on them, they fixed them up, they just like slapped things onto them just to make them work, and you know I think that's really cool. And I'm still kind of trying to figure out the biggest like challenge that we're going to be working with today is figuring out what type of treatment we want to give this comic. If we want it to look similar to this, kind of where we have, you know, I mean, it's kind of hard to do it similar to this because this is a different style of a comic, right? You got the axe blade thing going around, and then you know you got the painted zombies in the background, which I'm thinking is what we're gonna do here. We're probably gonna probably gonna do a little bit of painting of the motorcycles and stuff like that. I mean, you'll still be able to see the lines, but just a little bit more of like a realistic feel to it. But I also like the fact that this cover is very, very simplistic. Like it's not super colorful. It's only colorful in the places where it needs to be, where it draws your attention, right, up here. And is that it? No, this is the final one. So yeah, I kind of want to do something similar to that, but I keep asking myself, where is the... There, I was trying to freaking click the video again. I asked myself, where is the focal point of this, right? And my answer really is still kind of up in the air because it's not like the motorcycles, but I don't want to bring too much attention to Tank and Emma's face. So yeah, this is gonna be our problem-solving challenge of the day. So I think this is pretty good. I'm just gonna kind of skip through this really quick. I'm gonna skip through this fairly quickly, just so yeah, here's me touching up the zombies. And like I said, it's a long, arduous task, takes forever, and it's kind of boring. But just another glimpse into another style that I like to work in. Oh, another reason why I like to clean up lines like this is because I feel that I oftentimes lose something. Like when I do a final third line over, oftentimes I find myself losing just like little tiny, I don't know, details, like something in the bike chain or something in the character's face or the emotion that's in there. Something gets lost when I do that final line art. And I've learned how to fix it in the comic, but as far as like my painting style, I usually like to do that. Okay guys, so that's it. It just starts over again. We're going to go ahead and close that down. And we're going to go ahead and jump into it. I'm just checking the questions over here before we go forward. Going forward, people asking, will there be mutants in this post-apocalyptic environment? You might just have to wait and find out. Define mutants. Define mutants. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and move into masking. This is almost as fun to watch as cleaning up lines. Alright, but it is an important process that I must show. And I think I might be able to, because these lines are fairly clean, I think I should be able to mask these pretty easily. Alright, so check it out. This is how we're going to go about masking these bikes. Because we have gone ahead and cleaned up the lines, should be fairly easy to take care of these. So I'm going to go ahead and hide the guidelines on the side there, as you just saw. Let's go ahead and click this. Now we're going to use our magic wand tool. We're going to use our fairy magic wand, Fairy Godmother Magic Wand. We're going to go ahead and select everything around the bikes. Around the bikes. Okay. And that looks about right. I actually kick up the tolerance a little bit. There we go. Yeah, kick up that tolerance. Let's get it all up in there. Yeah. That looks about right. Now you'll notice you have the marching ants around all of the motorbikes, right? Around everything that is not a motorbike. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn that selection inward by Shift-Control-I. It will invert it. And we are going to create a new layer behind this called mask. Behind the lines, right? So we're thinking like an animation sheet here, an animation cell. We're going to go ahead and color that this light gray. And there you go. Your masks for your vehicles are ready to go. Simple, huh? That wasn't so hard, was it? Let's go ahead and clean up these little holes in here. That shouldn't have a mask. That shouldn't have a mask. Okay, that's good. It's pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and darken the lines on these motorcycles too. To be kind of like this dark. I usually don't like to go straight black. I don't know what it is, but I like to go very, 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 very dark purple. Don't ask me why. I just like it. Alright, so we've got the mask done on the bikes. That was easy. That's much easier than going through and lassoing it, right? That's why it's good to have clean line art. So you can do stuff like that. Now, one thing that I do want to do is go back in here. There's a couple spots still need to get taken out. That is supposed to be open. And I think that about does it! Yes! Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the ground and the mountains, right? Ground and mountains. And I'm also going to separate, as you'll see in a moment, I'm going to start separating all of the motorbikes. Usually the motorcycles have been just one mask in the comic, but now I'm going to start separating them into more than one, just to get some more detail in there. Yes, ja details, ja details. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward, right? This is the ground, so let's go ahead and just, we're creating the ground behind the motorcycles, right? Because that is where it exists. This is where it must exist. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to select it and color it in big blocks, right? Anything to save a little bit of time. There we go. Good. Now let's do mountains. 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 Not mountains. Mountains. That's how Americans say it. Mountains. Alrighty. So here we go. Let's go ahead and take care of these mountains. And usually I try to stay away from doing manual masking as much as possible. But sometimes you just can't avoid it. In fact, I kind of wish I would have kept the lines for these mountains separate from the bikers. But I think that's something I can fix, since it wouldn't be that hard to separate that line off from these dudes. It's going to come in handy because I think I'm going to paint the lines. I'm going to color the lines of these bikers when we're all done. Okay. Good. I say good. Wow, that looks cool already. Just with the masks laid out. Love it! Alright, let's move on to the faces. Move on to the faces. Let's go ahead and do a slightly different color here. I'm also going to take the faces and I'm going to darken those to black. Almost black. To almost black. That's what that color is. Almost black. Okay. What is this? Oh, this is all old stuff. Let's group that and call it old. Okay, for the characters, I like to call it char mask. Character mask, you get it? Although I'll probably do two different ones because Tank is overlapping Emma. So I'll probably end up just making two different ones. probably rename this one Tank Mask. And the other one will be Emma Mask. Emma-san Mask. I keep feeling like I'm forgetting something. Am I forgetting something today? What's the deal? What's the deal? I don't know. Something is lagging. Something that Photoshop is lagging. That's not good. Probably because I'm just using this massive brush. Shouldn't be. It shouldn't be though. It's just a wee little ink brush. It's just a wee little ink brush. There we go. I do have some surprises coming up for you guys. I have some good surprises. But I'm not supposed to tell you that yet anyway. So I couldn't be forgetting to tell you that. Let's go ahead and put the zombies on top so we know where the mask should end. That looks like it takes it plenty high. Although, I need to get rid of this little thing right here. Good. Good. Cool. Alright, so Tank's mask is done now. Let's go ahead and take care of Emma's mask. I'll rename this Tank mask. New one, Emma mask. I'll make Emma's a little bit more pink, just to start. Usually I don't worry about what color the masks are at first. All that really matters is just the separation, right? You can tell which one is which. That is the important part. Yes, yes. So yeah, usually during masking I like to think about peaceful things. I like to think about eating a nice picnic at the park, because this is, like I said, very enjoyable. Masking for a living. That would be the best thing possible. Be the best thing ever. Okay. Let's make sure the zombies overlap that. Yep, we're good on there. Oh. So we missed a little thingy there. Missed a little something there. Where are the faces? There we go. Let's fix these. Oh, wait a minute. No, never mind. It was just the mask was in the wrong spot. Okay. And lastly, let's go ahead and just color those zombies. The zombies will be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to color their eyes black, or their eyes red, rather, at the end. So that shouldn't be too hard. Should be fairly straightforward. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go ahead and put in one more mask for the background, whatever is going to be behind Emma's and Tank's face. People talking over here about a mutated cat that can fly. I like the imagination. I do like it. People are saying turn down the spacing on the brush. That might actually help. Where is that spacing? Turn off spacing on the brush. Oh yeah. What do you know? That works graciously. Huh. Oh, that's what happens. It just does that thing. Like if I go too fast, it spaces it weird like that. But usually when I'm masking, I'm not going that fast. So, no biggie. Thank you, Brian Hogan. Thank you, Brian Hogan. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin our separation. Separation of layers. So let's go ahead and begin. Let's begin with the motos. Moto dudes. There you go. Okay, Moto mask. And let's go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and take off all these other masks so we can focus on one at a time. Alright, So the first thing we're going to do is sneeze. And I'm going to mute myself. Oh, come on. Oh, I hate it when you think you're going to sneeze and then you don't. It's always when you call it out, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to sneeze. And then everybody's looking at you, waiting for you to do it. And then the pressure, you know, it's like the pressure. Now I got to sneeze. And then you don't. Surely enough, you don't. You scare the demon away that would normally inhabit your soul when you sneeze. It's good. It's a good thing. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to separate this. I'm going to separate the bike into just a few different layers. One of which I want to be the tire. Right? So let's start with the tire. And sometimes what I like to do here is I usually like to try to wand it, you know, and like do the expand and fill. Actually, it's a good way to get started, and then I can just go back and fill in these little things. But yeah, I used to not be a big fan of the wand because it's like, well, it doesn't really even select what I want it to select. It doesn't even work. Speaking of not working, I totally did this on the wrong layer. Let's try that again. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's why it's important. That's why it's important to double check your thing. But I can show this to you again. Alright, so I select everything with the wand, right? And I usually don't like doing this because, you know, you fill it. You go into quick mask. An idiot. Again. Again! Another! Yeah. Oh, I expanded it. If you don't expand it, then you get something like this, right? It's like, ew. And you get all close, and it's like, oh, what is that? That's, it's disgusting. Ugh. But there's a way around that. There's a way around that, and that is up here in your little select bar. If you go to select, modify, expand, you can expand by however much you want, and then you set up an action, set it to a button, and then you automatically do it. Boom, baby! And that takes care of the nasty gray line, well, almost all the nasty gray lines. If you do it with a nice, clean brush, like when I do it in the comic, it works really well. But for these painting things, I usually have to manually mask it for the most part. And it doesn't bother me so much. But just in case you guys have been looking for that solution, there it is for you. You can go ahead and try it out. Try it again. Try it again. Okay. Now, tire is good. Tire is good. Is good. Okay. So let's do that one. Let's do this one here as well. Another thing was I was at the forums today, guys, and I gotta say thank you very much for like making the Emma forum like an amazing place and just like going on there and starting threads and talking amongst yourselves. Like it's really, really cool to see the community forming around, you know, Emma and you guys just having a good time. Having a gay old time. Gay old time on forums. It means a lot. So please continue doing so. Please continue posting your funny GIFs and keeping the Chinese spammers out of there. Very appreciated. Appreciative. Appreciated. Okay. So that tire's done. Let's do this tire now. I gotta turn spacing back on because this actually is bugging me. And now that we're working with a smaller thing. Oh. I just need to turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a notch. Ooh, that works. That works very well. Cool. Yeah, like I said, now that we're working with a smaller brush, it won't make the computer lag as much. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I'm enjoying these bikes. I'm excited to get the next issue out as soon as I finish this cover and the secret comic that goes with the digital edition. All right, I got to do that as well. And then after that, we will begin preparations for issue 3 because I made a promise to myself that I want to do concept art for this one. This time around, I'm going to be doing some concept art, and it's going to make the environments that much more planned out, that much more beautiful, hopefully. I'm hoping it'll make the environments look even more believable and just be like, whoa, this stuff's getting real up in here. It's getting real up in here. So I'm excited to show that to you guys. Excited. And I'll probably, if I can, the things that I can show you concepts of without giving away everything, I will show you guys. Because it might take a little bit of time before I'm ready to just jump head on into issue 3. But we'll see. My plan is to get in as soon as possible. Get to it! Okay. Tires are fun to mask. Tires are very fun to mask. I'm just trying to think, do I want to mask this thing too, or is that like the rim? I think I will mask this part too. It's like the inner part of the tire. Yeah, that looks good. And it'll look better here too. That looks weird to have the rim just going like to the edge like that. Okie dokie. Artichokes. But yeah. Oh, I know what I forgot to say. I forgot to ask how you guys' weekend was. I hope you guys had a good time. I went disco skating. And let's just say it was freaking amazing. As usual. But it was even more fun this time. But yeah, I went disco skating. Had some good times. Did a secret stream on Friday. You know, just the usual stuff. But yeah, I'm curious how you guys did. Did you go on any adventures? Did you go scuba diving into the wrecks of the Titanic, looking for the picture of the naked lady? And did you find it? And then what did you do with it? Don't tell me that. But yes, any adventures? Any great adventures that you went on? Alright, let's go ahead and move into what's up next. We got the tires done. Now let's go ahead and move on to the frames. Let's move on to the frames of the bikes. I'm thinking that I want to do like 3 separate colors, right? It's like the frame of the bike, the metally bits, right? Like anything that's like chrome. And then still thinking about the Titanic thing. And then, yeah, hopefully that'll look good. Oh, you guys are funny. Oh yeah. Lushie's saying people think that she's coughing when she's sneezing. Going back to that. That's really funny because I used to sneeze all the time in like class, and nobody would ever say like bless you. And I was like, why are they? What? But they would say it to everybody else, right? But they wouldn't say it to me. And I was like, well, don't they like me? They don't bless me? How dare they, right? And I never knew why. And I developed a huge complex about it. And then later I realized that when I sneeze, I actually sound like I'm just coughing, right? Because I usually just like do it once and be like, like that, right? And it sounded like I was coughing. So there you go. Yeah, I developed a whole entire complex around my sneezing for nothing. But it wouldn't be the first time. Alright, so let's go ahead and do, yeah, let's do frame. Frame! I've been framed! And I'm actually going to take off the tire really quick, just so this will help me see it a little bit better. See the vision a little bit better. See the vision within. I've seen the artwork within. As I itch my nose. Ah, professionally. Totally professionally. Yeah. The professional nose itch. Okay, we're done with that. Back to the Titanic. I've been wanting to go on a cruise, actually. In fact, I keep getting these little emails, like saying, hey, you got, like, the fall sale, right? The fall giveaway. You can go on a cruise to Europe for $400, right? Plus shipping and handling, or whatever it is. Plus a $100 deposit. I was like, oh, yeah, about that. Oh, so itchy. Why is it so itchy? Oh, I just shaved. That's probably why. My face always gets kind of itchy after I shave. But it's the price you gotta pay. Price you gotta pay to look clean on the show. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Thinking this is like the engine block and all that stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that chromey looking. Yeah, I'll keep that chromey looking. Chromey looking. Let's see, all this stuff up here. All the little whirly bits. These get colored in. These get colored in. That gets colored in. That gets colored in. Good. Okay, yeah. I'm feeling that. Feeling that. Let's see how that looks with the tire. Yeah. 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 I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. However, when I darkened the tire, that showed me something. Showed me a vision. Showed me a part of the mask that was not complete. Let's go ahead and fix that. Fix whatever needs to be fixed. And let's go ahead and move on into... oh. This should also be part of the frames. Those spikes sticking out here. These colors are too similar. I need to break them up a little bit. Let's go ahead and make the frame kind of like a dark brown. I'm going to push it a little bit more of a dark brown, so we can tell what's going on. There we go. And the tire will be a little bit darker. Brilliant! There we go. Also, when I darken it, it shows me all the little mistakes, all the little things that I missed, like in here, here, there. See, this manual masking stuff takes a lot of time, but if you do it correctly, it'll save you much heartache in the long run. So please, do it right. Do it right the first time. Take the time. Give it the time it needs. Give it what it desires. And you will be a happy man. Okay. Let's go ahead and move into the frames of these other things. How are we doing on time? Oh! We've been going for like 35 minutes, and what have we done? We barely even freaking finished the masking on this. Well, it's probably going to be good. The whole, you know, it's like once you, again, it's like cleaning up the lines. Once you see me start the mask, you can basically tell what's going to happen for the rest of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for probably about 5 more minutes. I'm going to open up the question catapults. Please cast your questions over the castle walls. I'll answer any and all questions that you have, and then we're going to end today's episode. And yeah, I'll just continue working on this tomorrow, and I'll time-lapse it. I'll try to get all the masks done. We'll time-lapse it up to then, and then we'll begin the colors. Alrighty! Alrighty. A cruise to Australia. I see over in the chat. I like that. I like that idea. Cruise to Australia. I've always wanted to go to Australia because I hear they have lots of hedgehogs there, right? They have lots of hedgehogs running around, and I've always wanted to like get one as a pet, right? Because they're super cute. They don't really work very well for like petting necessarily, but they're still pretty dang cute. I just pet their face where the soft fur is, right? And then spray paint it blue and give it some sneakers. I think that'd be good. All right, so let's see. What color do I want the chain to be? I think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it dark because I'm thinking about the patterns, right? I'm thinking about the reeds that are gonna be happening here. I want 3 reeds, 3 different types of materials to be on this bike. And if I separate it, because it's like here, tire, then second material, chrome, whatever you want to call it. Probably I'm not gonna make it chrome, but you know, lighter material. Then you have rusty material, dark rusty material. And then this will also be like a lighter material in here. And that makes us happy. Oh, so happy. Alright, I'm not starting that. I've heard enough of that. Alright, let's get that spoke on there. Spoke on there. Reptar brush. Oh yeah, that's the brush that I used to do the line art in the comic. Reptar brush. Because it looks like a reptar. Here, I'll pull it up. See? Look, doesn't look like anything at first, right? But you make it bigger, and it's like, oh, it's totally reptar. You see it? You see it? Look, I'll totally just slap it down, right? You'll see it. Oh, never mind. That doesn't work. It looks like blood. Makes a good blood brush, too. But, yeah, reptar brush. Saves many a life. Saves many a life. Alright, let's go ahead and clean that up, and that up. In fact, while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and load up epic outro music so we can make a smooth transition. How should I make this? I'll make that dark too. Why not? Epic outro music, come to us! Come to us! I gotta watch my posture. I've been working like this all day. It's really bad. You gotta watch out. You'll turn into a hunchback. I guarantee it. Alright. Final questions coming in. Final questions. Oh, echidnas. Echidnas. Maybe echidnas. I don't know. I don't know the difference. Knuckles versus Sonic. I don't know. I'm sure echidnas are just as cute. So yes, I would take one of those for a pet too. I don't want a kangaroo. Or wallaby. Wallaby, actually. Kangaroos are they're too punchy. Wallabies are a little bit more cut down to size. They're like the chihuahuas of kangaroos, right? A little more manageable. Alright. One more thing that I want to do before I forget is I want to add the lights. So let's go ahead and do that. And that will be the last thing that we do. Gotta remember, because I'm going to actually have these lights glowing red, and they're going to have like a cool J.J. Abrams lens flare going across the entire page, and it's going to look really cool. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you mask. Pink lights. Why not? I don't like that. How did I miss that? How did I miss that? Seriously, look at this. How did I miss that? Huh? I don't think so. Unacceptable. Wow, there's a lot of things I missed in here. This is ugly. This is oogly. Alright, it's all good. Tragedy averted. Tragedy averted. Alright, final question coming in from Brian Hogan. He's saying bacon or not bacon. If you're referring to a Del Taco Breakfiesta burrito, then no bacon. Because if you get it, it's actually, I think they call it bacon, but it's actually just the bacon grease that they put into the burrito. And when you bite into it, it literally shoots everywhere. And heaven forbid you're eating this thing in your car, because it will go on your windows, it will go on your dash, it will get on your pants, it will go everywhere. So in that case, no bacon. But if it's making it at home the way it should be, then yes, to bacon. Alrighty, people. So we're going to go ahead and end today's show. Thank you once again for joining me for the KNKL show, episode 91, continued 3. I'm your host, Kienan Lafferty. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be doing Tutorial Tuesday, right? We're just continuing with what we're doing. And we're going to be moving into Zakala. So until then, you guys take care, and I'll see you then. See you then.